Hey everyone, welcome back. Time to dive into the world of tech startups today.
Oh, yeah, always exciting.
It is, and I've got dollar signs swirling already, honestly.
Mhm.
We're going to be dissecting this Bearhug Recruiting Report,
Okay.
Early and Growth Stage Tech Startup Funding Recap.
Got it.
They put this out on April 29th, so it's pretty recent.
Mhm.
Gives us a snapshot of who's got the attention, who's grabbing the cash, all that,
Right.
in environmental technology and enterprise software.
Yeah, that's where the action is.
It seems to be. Okay, so before we get lost in all the details,
Please.
Bearhug. They're a recruiting firm. So, why are they the ones analyzing this stuff?
Well, they're kind of smart that way. See, they're connecting the dots. Investment, hiring, it's all related.
Oh, okay.
Company raises a ton of money. First thing they need to do is what?
Spend it?
Well, yeah, eventually.
Right.
But first, they need people to do the work.
So Bearhug's figuring out where the jobs are going to be.
Exactly. They're mapping out the future job market. By seeing who's getting funded, they know what skills will be hot.
Clever. Like predicting the future.
Exactly.
This isn't just a couple of companies getting funded either. This report is huge.
It really shows you how much people want to see innovation, right? Like these startups, they've got big dreams,
Yep.
and the investors, they're putting their money where their mouth is. I think it's telling. They don't just want small improvements anymore.
Right.
They want the next big thing, the disruptors.
Like instead of Tesla, it's...
Green tech,
Yeah,
AI, who knows what else?
exactly. And speaking of green tech,
Mm,
Exowatt,
okay, yeah.
modular energy platforms.
Mhm.
Supposed to be game changers for data centers, they say.
Interesting.
Chemix doing AI-designed EV batteries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Radical with these wild solar-powered aircraft.
It's amazing how many different ways people are tackling these environmental problems, you know? Hardware, software, you name it.
It really shows how complex these problems are, though, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
You need every angle. But it's funny, looking through this, there's one thing that pops up all over.
Let me guess.
AI.
Huh. Knew it. Like, it's the magic ingredient everyone's using these days.
It really seems like it.
And not just for the planet, either. Healthcare, engineering, even making a good cup of coffee. Prime Intellect, for example. Decentralized AI platform. That's thinking big.
Wow.
And then there's Nominal. They're all about using data to streamline engineering workflows, making things more efficient.
So every industry is getting a tech upgrade.
You got it. But it's not just about slapping AI on your product and calling it a day. Investors are getting smarter, you know? They want to see AI actually solving real problems.
Yeah, it can't just be a buzzword. Has to have a purpose.
Exactly. This report, it might seem overwhelming at first,
It does, a little.
but you got to dig deeper. Look for the bigger picture, the trends, what's grabbing their attention, and crucially, why.
Okay, I'm ready. Where do we even start?
Let's zoom in on a few sectors that really jumped out at me. Healthcare, for one. Clarity Pediatrics.
Virtual care for kids. Chronic conditions, specifically.
I like that.
Then there's Oxa Health, benefits navigation. It's a nightmare. They're simplifying it.
Oh, thank goodness.
Right. And Summer Health, pediatrician support, but through text. It's all about being easy to use, easy to access.
It makes sense. People want things to be convenient. Like you said, it's about solving real problems.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Meeting people where they are,
And speaking of meeting people where they are, sales. Ugh. Sales calls.
Tell me about it.
But there are companies in here using AI to fix it, like Nooks. They automate sales prospecting calls.
Oh, now you're speaking my language. Oh, man, I've spent way too much time on those calls myself. Nook sounds like a dream come true, honestly.
Right.
It's like giving your sales team an army of AI assistants to handle all the boring stuff.
So they can actually, focus on selling.
Exactly. This is what I'm talking about when I say AI can actually create jobs. It's not always about replacing people.
Augmenting, not replacing. There you go.
Yeah.
And it's not just about being faster or more efficient either. This report highlights how AI is helping businesses make better decisions, period.
Okay, I like that.
Like take Drapos, for example. They've put together this whole platform for, get this, coffee shops.
Oh, yeah, Drapos.
Yeah.
They were in here. They're like the,
What's called the Swiss Army knife.
yes,
Uh-huh.
of coffee shop software. Everything's in one place.
Right. Managing your employees, marketing, all of it. It's about streamlining things.
Oh.
Giving you the information you need to make the right calls.
It is king, right?
Data is everything these days, but it's not enough to just have it. You got to know what to do with it. That's where companies like Nominal and they come in.
Okay.
They're giving engineers, data scientists, anyone who needs it, the tools to actually understand the data they have.
Better decisions.
Exactly. It's like having a crystal ball, right?
Yeah.
Anticipate problems before they even happen.
Powerful stuff. But it makes you think, doesn't it? All this data, is it? I don't know. Yeah. Like, how do we make sure it's being used for good?
$1 million question, my friend. And it's something we have to keep asking ourselves as this technology keeps getting more powerful.
What do you think? I mean,
Well, to me, it's about finding a balance. We can't be afraid of progress, but we can't just blindly embrace it either. We need rules, guidelines, ethical frameworks.
so responsible innovation.
Exactly. It's not enough to just build cool tech. It has to benefit everyone.
Speaking of cool tech and benefiting everyone, let's get back to those solar-powered aircraft for a sec.
Radical, right?
Yeah. I mean, providing internet, environmental monitoring, all that in places that need it most.
It's such an elegant solution, Instead of these big, clunky cell towers, plus it's sustainable.
It's like the Swiss Army knife of sustainability.
Sure.
And it just shows you how everything's connected, right?
Absolutely. Take climate change, for instance. It's not just an environmental problem. It affects everything. The economy, social justice, even global security.
So we need solutions that are just as interconnected as the problems themselves.
Exactly. And this report, it gives me hope, honestly. It shows how many people are out there working on these big problems, coming up with creative solutions.
It's inspiring, for sure. But I want to switch gears just a bit here and talk about something that's always been important to me.
Mm-hmm.
Healthcare.
Okay.
There's some really fascinating stuff in this Bearhug report about digital health, particularly personalized medicine.
Oh, now that's a game changer. Imagine treatments tailored to your specific DNA, your lifestyle, everything. That's the future of healthcare.
It's like instead of a one-size-fits-all approach, it's
Bespoke medicine, tailor-made just for you. And think about it. You could identify risks earlier, treat them more effectively, maybe even prevent them altogether.
It sounds like science fiction, but it's real.
It is. And it's not just about genetics either. Look at all the health apps, wearable devices. People have more control over their health than ever before.
It's about time. Healthcare shouldn't be so confusing, so hard to navigate.
I hear you. But of course, with all this data flying around, you got to ask the privacy question.
Right, of course.
How do we make sure people's information is safe? That it's not being misused? It's a balancing act, for sure.
So what needs to happen?
Transparency. For starters, people need to know how their data is being used. And they need to be able to say no, to opt out if they want to.
So control over their own information.
Exactly. Without that, you lose trust. And trust is everything in healthcare, wouldn't you say?
Couldn't agree more.
Mm.
Okay, let's shift gears one more time here. Let's talk about work. The way we work is changing right in front of our eyes.
Tell me about it. Remote work, hybrid models, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the old 9 to 5, stuck in the office, that seems like a distant memory now.
And honestly, good riddance. It's not just about where you work, though, is it? It's about having the flexibility to work when you're most productive.
And from wherever you want, in a lot of cases.
Exactly. And there are companies in this report building the tools to make all of that happen. Collaboration platforms, project management tools, you name it. They're making it easier than ever to work from anywhere.
And this report highlights how companies are finding new ways to be productive, even when everyone's scattered all over the place.
It's like we're building a new digital workplace from the ground up. And it's not just about recreating the old office online. It's about something totally new.
More flexible, more adaptable.
Exactly. And hopefully more human. But it does make you wonder, can you really have that same sense of camaraderie, that creative spark, when you're not face to face?
Yeah, it's a good question. What do you think?
I think it takes effort, intentional effort. You have to use these tools in a way that fosters connection, not just productivity. Schedule virtual coffee breaks, encourage informal chats, things like that.
So it's about being mindful, even when you're not physically present.
Absolutely. It's a whole new way of thinking about work, about collaboration.
We have to adapt, right?
Adapt or get left behind, that's what I always say. And the companies that figure this out, they're the ones who are going to thrive in this new world of work.
It's exciting, scary, and a little overwhelming, all at the same time. Who knows what the future holds?
That's the beauty of it, isn't it? Anything is possible. And this report, it just scratches the surface. I can't wait to see what they come up with next.
I know, right? It's a lot. But, going through all this, all these different companies and everything, I keep thinking about what you said earlier about investors wanting more than just little improvements. They want the big disruptions.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's where the real excitement is. It's what pushes everyone forward, you know? And it's everywhere you look in this report, how we deal with climate change, how we work, healthcare, it's all changing so
It's
fast.
like everything's changing at once, technology, the way we live, everything.
Yeah.
And this report really captures that feeling.
And it reminds you that it's not just happening to us. We're the ones making it happen, shaping the future with all this.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's about making sure all this amazing technology actually makes things better for everyone.
Exactly. Otherwise, what's the point?
Okay, so last question before we wrap things up here. If you had to pick one big takeaway from all of this, what's the main thing you think people should remember about what's going on in the tech world right now?
Ooh, that's tough. I think it's how everything's coming together. Like you've got AI and then biotech and then clean energy, and they're all starting to, I don't know, overlap. You know what I mean?
Connected.
Exactly. It's not separate things anymore. And
Right.
that's how you get these crazy new ideas, these things that wouldn't have been possible even a couple years ago.
It's like we're entering a whole new era of technology where anything's possible.
Exactly. And that's pretty exciting if you ask me.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, I think it's time for us to come back up for air after that deep dive. Thanks so much for joining me today. This is great.
Anytime. Always fun to geek out about this stuff.
Absolutely. And for everyone listening, thanks for coming along on this one. We'll catch you next time for another deep dive.